Good afternoon. I'm Shri. I'm a product lead at Nexmo.
Good afternoon. I'm Sid, and I'm a developer relations engineer at Nexmo.
So Nexmo is a cloud communications platform. We offer APIs for messaging, voice, user authentication, sending communications over chat apps, and for getting number intelligence. Our goal is to make it really fast and easy for you to enable your apps with communications. We work with several fintech startups and leading financial service firms. We also work with a lot of consumer brands and leading Web 2.0 and mobile-first companies. The fintech companies mostly work with us for user authentication and for communicating with their users. A lot of the need for user authentication is now, in addition to being driven by the business needs, also from consumer demand. So there was a recent study conducted by Kaspersky, and as you can see, consumer confidence is still low. A majority of consumers are still worried about online financial fraud. About 40% or more have abandoned an online transaction because they perceived it to be lacking security. And very important for you, close to 60% of consumers would select a provider or an application that gives them additional security measures. So implementing strong authentication has become very critical. There are multiple ways and multiple options to implement strong authentication. Ideally, you would select 2 or more factors from something a user has, something a user is, and something a user knows. So you could use, in addition to passwords, you could have a hardware token or one-time password. Or you could use biometrics, such as the Touch ID or speaker recognition, or something like knowledge-based authentication. Regardless of which technology you choose to implement strong authentication, what is critical is that the user experience is up to the expectation of consumers. And this is especially important in mobile applications, where if the user experience is not up to their expectation, the conversion of transactions will go down. At Nexmo, we think that phone verification is a very useful option for implementing strong authentication. And the reasons we believe so is that, number one, all your users already have a unique mobile number associated with them. The implementation cost is really low. You don't need to buy any additional hardware. Users already carry their cell phones everywhere. The user experience on mobile devices is seamless. And finally, compared to, say, a social login, users don't have any privacy concerns with sharing their phone number as their user identity. In order to balance the user experience with the need for security, we recently launched Verify SDK. So Verify SDK is open source and available on GitHub for iOS, Android, and JavaScript. With Verify SDK, you can verify any phone number. All you have to do is to pass us a phone number, and we'll take care of everything from there, abstracting all the telco complexities from you so you can focus on building core application functionality. We take care of delivering the code, optimizing multiple parameters, and charge only on successful verification. The integration is really simple. It comes with a customizable UI that's integrated with the verification workflows. You can manage user authentication across different devices and platforms. You get added security since the Verify SDK assigns unique identifiers to each mobile device. And in conjunction with a phone number now, you can detect and prevent SIM swap fraud using Verify SDK. Verify SDK also supports push-based verifications, which are offered on a subscription model. So it becomes cost-efficient, and you're very easy to predict your costs with Verify SDK now. Next, we'll go into a demo. So Sid here has built a banking app using Verify SDK. And you'll see how easy it is to integrate Verify SDK into your applications and to implement strong authentication with it and scale with the number of users that you have. Can you switch to the iPhone? Thank you. Okay. So the first time I download and log into the app, I'm going to enter my online banking ID. Then I see this picture key that I originally selected when I created my account, and I feel confident entering my password, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, a second factor of authentication is required. I need to verify that I actually can log in on this device with using the Touch ID. And now, in addition, it's going to send me a one-time verification code. And the user experience is so seamless, I can see the code right here and enter it right away. And I'm logged in. And now Sid will show you how few lines of code it takes to implement the phone verification. Oh, can we switch back to the computer? Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, so we just saw a new user transitioning to a verified state, and all that takes is one simple function call. It's right here, verify client.getVerifiedUser. And all you need to do is supply a couple parameters, including the country code and the phone number of the user. And then there's 3 callback methods within this function, including when the verification process has started, when the verification process has been completed and the user has successfully entered the PIN code correctly, and on error, which tells you a little bit more about what went wrong with the verification request. For example, if you don't have enough credits in your account, it'll return that in response code. A couple things about the SDK that are great use cases is it's awesome for 2FA, as Sri said, and what's awesome about it is it has SMS to text-to-speech failover. So if your user doesn't reply within 5 minutes, it'll automatically failover with a phone call with a new PIN code. And there are no country restrictions. You're allowed to go globally compliant. And this way, no language barriers are there. Say you send SMS verification to your user in France, an alphanumeric ID, sender ID will be used, such as verify. But if you wanted to send SMS verification to, say, someone in this audience right here, an alphanumeric sender ID would be rejected. So we would use a US shortcode instead. And then back to Sri.
Yeah, in addition, we also do language customization. So a user in France would get the message and the voice call in French versus a user in Brazil would get it in Portuguese. So it saves you a lot of work. Now I'm already inside the app. If we can switch back to the demo. And I don't want to receive an SMS verification on my future login. So I'm going to disable the SMS verification. And when I log in a second time, still do the touch verification. But now, instead of me receiving an SMS and having to enter the code, Verify SDK uses a silent push with a code that the app automatically consumes. So the user experience is seamless here. At the same time, you still got 3 factors where I had to enter a password, I had a touch ID, and the push verification confirmed that this is the device that I originally verified from. So you're still getting the security, but the user experience is seamless. Sid will now show you how you can easily add the push verification.
So as we saw, Sri sent a push notification to the user, and it was silently consumed and verified. You actually have the option of choosing a physical push notification or a silent push notification. For a physical push notification, the user would receive a push notification with the PIN code, and they would have to correctly supply that PIN code to continue. And all you have to do to change up between silent push and physical push is just one Boolean parameter change. So right here you have perform silent check to true. All you got to do is change it to false, and you can get a physical push notification the next time. And a few cool things about the push notification is it's built on top of GCM, and it's yeah, you can have physical or silent push notifications. Back to Sri.
So now on the demo, say I want to do can we display the phone? Thanks. So now say I want to do a transfer, and I'm already logged in. And if this is a high-value transaction from my checking account for $25. He can still do a verification, and this is a stateless verification. So I'm just confirming that I authorized and initiated this transaction. And Sid can show you how you can do a standalone verification that doesn't change the login state of a user. You can display code.
So to perform a standalone verification on a verified user, all you have to do is, same thing, one simple function call right here, verify client.verify standalone, and it has the same callback methods and the same parameters as the function above to make the process as simple as possible. Now back to Sri for the demo.
Great, so I'm going to go ahead and log out. We saw that Verify SDK can be used to support multiple different use cases in your financial app, user authentication, transaction authentication, as well as seamless verification. In addition, you can go ahead and provide a great user experience by using some of our cloud communications APIs. So for instance, if I forget my username, traditionally, I'll have to fill in a bunch of questions, and then I get the username sent via email. But here, we're going to make the experience a lot more seamless. So I'm going to enter my bank account information. And then request my username. And I get my username right here in the same screen. And I can instantly enter it back into the application and log in. So it's a much easier user experience on a mobile device. Now we can go back to the slides.
Cool. So to send a SMS request with Nexmo, all it takes is one simple HTTP call, and you need to supply your API credentials, including your API key and your API secret. That could be stored on your database securely. And then all you also need is the from number, so your Nexmo virtual number, and the destination number, so the number of the user, and the text. For example, here we are saying your online ID is and the found username for the user, and you're ready to go to send your SMS.
Great. So in conclusion, Nexmo is a leader in cloud communications. We reach practically every phone. We've had over 100,000 developers and make over 4 billion calls annually. What differentiates us in this space is the quality of communications that we provide. We make communications business critical and provide global reach while making it very easy for you to enable communications in your app. Thank you for your time. If you have any more questions, please stop by our booth. Even if you don't have questions, stop by our booth because we have cool giveaways. Thank you.
Thank you.